Hello, friends, and greetings for the day. Welcome back to another live session, which we conduct every weekend as a part of our session. And we bring to you from the channel itself as an amenity to assist you with all your questions every weekend, every Saturday. At any point of time, you have any questions, you can make a note of it and you these questions on this option where we connect live together and definitely to respond to all your queries. So make sure that you have any queries related to ISTQB certifications, could be foundation, advanced level, specialist, anything which you think you need an answer for, just make sure that you drop it here and I'll be definitely looking forward to respond to all of them. So welcome aboard, welcome one and all. Very good evening, very good morning, and good afternoon to all the viewers across the world. I welcome you to the live session and greetings for the day. Okay, so we are looking forward to continue with our day. Definitely, this is a weekend which everyone is busy enjoying, and I would like to wish all our viewers across the world a Merry Christmas, belated, of course. There's definitely a lot of occasional things which are going on right now, and not everyone is definitely looking to study forward, at least for a week around, and probably getting back to the preparation of the examination the first week of January. But still, as I promised you, I thought of getting live and at least responding to the queries what people may have. If in case we do not have good response coming in, we would like to shut down the show quickly. But no matter if we have very good questions coming in, then I would love to definitely respond to all of them. Okay, so the very one which is coming in here is from Dimitrios. Okay, how is the glossary of PM ISTQB going to be updated? Not sure exactly which glossary you're talking about. Is it on the channel? Because can you be more specific, like which glossary you're referring to? Because I'm not sure if we have any kind of glossary on our channel. We have a different channel for that where we are creating definitions for each and every word. So Dimitrios, if you have anything specific to talk about, I would love to answer that. Okay, so Hers says hello, very good evening, Hers. Welcome aboard. Okay, so there are a lot of things which have been happening over the weekend. So the week update is that a lot of people, first of all, definitely confirmed saying that they have passed the examination, and I would like to appreciate their effort and congratulate all of them to successfully clear the examination. That's really definitely going to be more added value for everyone to know that people are making out good from the tutorials which we have online, and that adds a lot of value. Okay, before I continue with my updates, Dimitrios says that, sorry, I meant syllabus. No, not syllabus. Syllabus is not going to change every year. They hardly change it if something new appears to the market. For example, agile things and user stories and all these terminologies came, which was not in 2011. Okay, so the last syllabus which was revised was in 2011. And after that, the syllabus was revised in 2018. So you can see the difference, like 7 years of gap before they can think of revisiting the syllabus or revising it. So it's not every year. Even you can prepare on the same syllabus and you can appear in 2021 as well, until unless they declare that from next year they will have a new syllabus. But generally, whenever they declare that they are going to have a new syllabus, they give 1 year time to let everyone know that the syllabus is changing, and after the 1 year itself they implement the new syllabus. For example, even if today they declare that we are going to have a new syllabus, then it will be implemented next year, December 26. Okay, next year, December 26. That is 2021, December 26 will be the applicability of the new syllabus. So don't have to worry. You can very well follow the same tutorials until unless you have any kind of news from ISTQB about the examination. All right. Thank you so much. You're enjoying your videos. All right. Thank you so much for that. Have fun. But at the same time, make sure that you learn everything. And if in case you have any queries, just make sure that you have an opportunity here, which you can definitely make most out of it. All right. Thank you. Okay. So we have a question from Horse as well. Rescheduling my exam tomorrow. Prepared again last week. Now in mock test, I'm scoring around 30, 35. and in ASTQB exam 2830. Is this good? I think that's really good. I think compared to your previous one, I remember you from the last weekend show on the live session. You did mention that you are losing, kind of confidence while appearing on the sample papers. But I think this is quite better, Harsh. I think you should not do anything else. Now stop working on the sample questions. Rather, sit, relax as you're writing it tomorrow. Just tomorrow, I'm not sure. Tomorrow is Sunday. Are you really writing it on Sunday or it is Monday? So if it is anyway Sunday or Monday, whatever, that you just have to be is like relax, just close your eyes, recall whatever you have learned. Please do not look onto any of the sample questions now. Okay, be it your ISTQB itself or be it your any other sources. You don't have to do anything. 24 hours before the examination, all you have to do is just relax and recall as much as possible. Okay, so don't mess up with any of the thing. If you have any confusions in recalling the learnings, you can go back to the syllabus or go back to the tutorial. But I won't even prefer that because now you're done. If you get into the syllabus again and again, things will arise up and you will be mostly confused at every point of time. So just relax and try to recall that what you remember about each topic. For example, just sit and go to think about what is static testing. You should know that static testing is all about reviewing the work products. What is work products? So work products are any such documentation which can be created as a part of the life cycle and can be reused. Now, what is static testing? What is static analysis? Static analysis is specific to the code review. Okay. Now, what are the types of review? What is a formal review process? How informal is different from walkthrough? So this is what you need to do till tomorrow morning. Okay, but don't get into anything else. That will further, puzzle you up, and that will ruin your whole confidence. Right now, you have a very good confidence, is what I see, and I would just wish you all the very best for your examination. Make sure that you have everything well equipped and try to follow the instructions of the proctors, what they tell you this tomorrow morning. Okay, because if you do slight mistakes, they just terminate you. So please be extra cautious with the examination process. Anyways, all the very best, Harsh, and do let us know when you're back what exactly happened with your examination and how well you did it. Okay, because that means a lot for us and our viewers across the world. Okay, so all the very best, Harsh. See you tomorrow. If you have any questions still in your mind, please feel free to let me know. I'm here to answer any queries at any point of time. So there is no limit and there is no limitation on asking the number of questions. Just feel free, let me know. Okay, so I was just talking about the week update. Yes, a lot of people reported saying that they have passed the examination. I would like to congratulate all of them and thanks for their valuable feedback. Do not forget to come back to the channel and write your valuable feedback, which means a lot to me, of course, but of course becomes a quite strong recommendation to many other viewers across the world. Because a lot of people believe on these mouth of words, and definitely having such valuable keywords or such valuable feedback from different people from different world cannot be fake generated, right? So that means that the trust factor is built up and a lot of people can definitely look into that. Okay, yeah, and there are, of course, a lot of simple questions coming in here and there, which is very common. So I don't think we would have to discuss that. You can definitely look into those comments for the respective members who asked me those questions. Let's look at some of the questions coming in right now. We have Manisha asking us, hello and good evening. Very good evening, Manisha. Welcome aboard. I passed my examination this week and I want to say thank you for helping out and your videos helped a lot. Thank you so much, Manisha, for recognizing the content. And thank you so much for taking some time out and being a part of this session to let everyone know that you have passed the examination. And it's always definitely my pleasure that when somebody finds the content quite useful to them and it helps them to pass the examination. So congratulations on the success. It is really a great pleasure that you have passed your first step, that is the foundation examination. Look forward to any other certification which might be beneficial for your career, and definitely you will be supported by the tutorials again in your upcoming certifications as well. So I wish you all the very best for all your future endeavors. Thank you so much. Hers says that any last minute tips or tricks. So there's one thing I would tell you at this point of time, Harsh, that you have to make sure that you are relaxed. Okay, don't stress at any point of time. If you're not getting any question, just skip that for that time being. Skip that at that point, move to the questions which you are comfortable with. Okay, do not waste more than a minute on any question, even if you get stuck. Okay, even if you get stuck, just skip it, because you know that you are going to take longer than few minutes to solve that. So first, at least answer the questions which you are confident with, and you will be saving a lot of time and gaining a good confidence from these questions. Then maybe, after certain questions you get a better, justification for that question which you are stuck at. So do not waste your time, keep a track on the time. It's very crucial for you to answer all the questions. Do not forget, do not miss any question, because there is no negative marking, right? A lot of people forget to answer some of the questions. Please at least attempt, even in the last minute you don't have any clue, at least answer that question and be back. All right. More important thing, read patiently the questions and the options. Patiently means that don't waste your time reading the question. I mean, being patient means that we read the word like true, false, most, best, not. These are some of the common words which you would have experienced when you were going through the sample questions. One word can change the meaning of the question. Not only the question, the options are even crazy, right? They can be crazy at any point of time. You just miss one word in the option, things turn around. And they have lovely options, okay? They know where you can go wrong. They can very well pick up the other question, other option for you. They know that you can pick up this option as well. So they purposefully do that. So be patient and read it so carefully that you understand each and every word. Never do that hurry process that, okay, I understand this option and this skip. No, read each and every word just like you don't know anything about it. You're trying to understand that option. So this is the main thing which you have to follow during the examination. And of course, your proctored rules and instructions so that you don't get diverted and terminated from the exam. Okay, all the very best, Harsh, again. Okay, we have Sharon coming in. Sharon, yeah, I remember you from the last weekend. Hello, Neeraj. Hello. And so I'm on the first chapter and even bought your book. So I have got some queries. Yes, please. Firstly, could you elaborate what is frozen test basis? Probably with an example too. Okay, frozen test basis means once incorporate when anything is finalized, we call it as freezed or frozen. So why I refer to the word frozen? Because when we start analyzing something or we start deriving the test cases from a test basis, we expect it to be frozen. That initially you can start reviewing a requirement or any such documentation right at the draft level, be it requirement, be it design, be it algorithm, use cases, anything can be called as test basis. That is during review. It can be a draft when you are reviewing it, analyzing it. But once it is analyzed and the defects or issues in the test basis are rectified, then we recommend it to be frozen, finalized before we start deriving the test cases. Because if it is still making changes or there are a lot of defects which are yet to be resolved, then there is no point deriving test cases out of it. Even if you derive the test cases, probably you have to change your test cases sometime later. So we request that particular document, we wait for that. Like the moment the document is frozen, frozen means finalized, then only we start deriving the test cases, that is test design phase. Okay, so that is what we mean by saying frozen test basis. Okay, so is there anything else? Just keep dropping. I'll keep up picking up the questions one after the other. As you say, firstly, so I think you have few queries more. Just keep dropping, and you can wait for the answers one after the other. Okay. Meanwhile, we have a question from Shushma. Shushma Sharma says, "Hey Neeraj, hello Shushma. I'm also preparing for ISTQB. Recently purchased your book. Just wanted to ask you about bi-directional traceability. I'm not able to understand that. Thank you so much for buying the book. Do not forget to write the review wherever you bought it from, because I'm looking forward to a lot of reviews on my portals to add value to the book. Um, Talking about the bi-directional traceability, okay. So if you remember, I have also discussed about RTM, Requirement Traceability Matrix, which is basically to map the requirements with the test cases which are created. Now, of course, I have a requirement 1, requirement 2, requirement 3 in my columns. And in my rows, I have the test cases which I have written, TC1, TC2, TC3, TC4, and so on, right? Now I map them, that TC1 belongs to R1 or TC1 covers R1. Then TC2 covers R2, TC3 covers R3, just like that. For example, it can be that all TC1, TC2, TC3 belong to one particular requirement, right? So we just make that crisscross in the table to map the test cases to the requirement. Now, why do we call this RTM as a bidirectional traceability? The reason is it can be evaluated from either side. It can be evaluated as column wise or it can be evaluated as row wise. What is the difference? You can say that have you covered all the requirements into your test cases? Okay. Have you covered all your requirements into test cases or are your test cases covering all the requirements? That's what you call it as bidirectional. That means it's just not a one-way documentation that you have chances to miss something. It's a measurement unit. It's a measurable criteria before you start execution that have you converted all the requirements into your test cases or whether all your test cases are covering requirements in one or the other way. So it can be evaluated both the ways, thus it is a stronger measurement matrix that your test cases are not missing anything, right? So that's what you call it as bidirectional traceability. Okay, I hope I have answered your question, Sushma, there. If you have anything else, just feel free to drop it further, and I would love to take that and answer that. Okay, Harsh says, recurring time in mock test, I completed the test around 40 minutes. Is that too fast? Because I feel I hurry a little bit in reading. Uh, it's not fast because I told you at least my 60 to 70% of my audience have answered the examination between 30 minutes to 40 minutes of time. It's just because of the confidence, but it's good. It's good as far as you don't make mistakes. Okay, Harsh? It does not make any sense that what time you finish it, subjected, you do not make any mistakes, silly mistakes. Okay, just about reading something. So you don't have a competition on the time. Utilize it till you feel that you have understood everything to the best and your answers are most accurate. Because obviously people go wrong. See, I cannot ask you to be 100% correct at any point of time, and I'm not looking forward for you to have 40 on 40, right? At least when you feel that you are 100% accurate, you were justified with that. Okay, so you can close your examination at 40 minutes or 45 minutes or so, subjected you do not make silly mistakes while reading the questions or picking up your right answer. If you have some time, what you will do in 15 minutes of time? You don't have a date to join, you don't have a meeting to attend on a Sunday, right? You don't have a function or event happening somewhere around. Spend it. Just look through all the questions once again, or just review it, saying that maybe some of the questions I was feeling little doubtful, revisit them. All right. So those things you do it, utilize all the time. You have 15 minutes extra, then you just utilize it so that you can be more confident. What if you see, when you see, you revisit a question, you have a different perception. Probably that time you could have answered wrong, but you revisited it, then you realize, oh, I didn't read about this. So you can be, more correct at that time. So just try to, manage your time in such a way. Or even if you're at 40 minutes, if you think that you are confidently answering everything, wind up. No problem with that at all. You're not too fast. Don't worry. You're not too fast at all. Okay, but yeah, just take your time in reading the question, Harsh, because that's more crucial. That's more crucial that you read the questions and options carefully before you answer it. What I say basically, think before you ink. Once you have answered your question, then you don't have any point to think at all. So think before you ink. Once you have inked, you think that you have answered it already, and you will always have that perception that you are going right. So things are not wrong. So you don't revisit. Okay, we have Yamini. Hi, Yamini. Good evening. I'm going to appear for foundation level. Could you please answer the below question? Number one, difference between confirmation testing and retesting. And number two, high level means not going deep way, low level means going deep way. Is that correct? Okay. Number one, difference between confirmation and retesting. There's no difference. Okay. It's just that ISTQB calls retesting as confirmation testing. All right. ISTQB calls retesting as confirmation testing. Why? Because the entire world calls it as retesting and ISTQB calls it as confirmation testing. The only reason is that they say retesting is a very generic word. Even if I repeat a particular test once again, I call it as retesting, right? But the objective is different sometimes. Sometimes the objective is to gain confidence. Sometimes the objective is to confirm the fix of a defect. That's the reason they said retesting is just not a generic word. Let's have a confirmation testing as a word when you resolve an issue and you rerun a particular test. So retesting is equal to confirmation testing. Rest of the world within organization, you can call it as retesting. But for ISTQB, it is confirmation testing, which is to confirm a fix. Okay. Point number two, high level means not going deep way, high level. If you have a bucket filled of water, on the top, you call it as high level. And when I get inside the bucket, I call it as low level, in depth. So of course you are right when you're saying that word. High level means not going a deep way, in depth, and low level means deep way. So a lot of time you will hear your managers or superiors talking about, let's have a high level report. That means brief, not detailed. Then we say have a low level report or detailed report. So generally, quite often in corporate, people will use the word high level to resemble the briefing or brief outline or brief content or brief report. But when it comes to low level, they don't use the word low level. They use the word detailed. They say that let's go for a detailed report this time. Correct? So high level means brief, not so in detail, and low level means in depth or detailed. You are correct by saying that statement. Okay. Okay. Hers says regarding Yamini question number one, is there chances that both are in the options? Not at all. Because if you see the new syllabus 2018, they have not used the word retesting at all. That is what the revision has been made. 2011, they used to call it as retesting, and 2018, they have replaced it with confirmation. So that will not happen at all. So don't be confused with that, Harsh. Sharon, thanks. So here is the second query. Could you be tell me? Okay, could you tell me what exactly is a testware with an example again? Okay, testware is anything just like cookware, just related to cookware. Okay, that's simple. What do you mean by cookware? Now I have to cook a dish. Probably I'm cooking my dinner today, and I have a lot of cookwares like the spatula, the frying pan, or probably the other containers which I'm using. A lot of minor things here and there which I make use of in order to cook a particular dish. And I put together, call everything as my cookware, right? Including spoons, spatula, and a lot of other things which I made use of. Now that is what you call it as cookware. The same way here, you had test data, you had test cases, you had test environment, you had test bases, a lot of other things, procedures, test execution schedule, put everything together, including the hardware and software and infrastructure. You call it as testware. So I think you are in chapter one right now. You would have heard this word in the last section, that is test completion. In test completion, we say that archive the testware and hand it over to the maintenance team. So testware means everything, entirely, whatever you use for the testing process, hand it over to the maintenance team because they will be taking care of it thereafter on the product's maintenance. Okay, so that's the answer for that question with the example. Okay, Harsh says, thank you so much for everything. Hoping for the best. Gonna relax a little bit now. We'll had a little bit revision before exam. Good night, sir. Very good night, Harsh, and definitely do that same. Relax. Just recall things. Don't get into the content. Don't get it into the sample papers right now. It's not the time. It's just relax and recall. If you get stuck any point, then you go to that particular segment to see that. That's it. Nothing beyond that. All right. Anyone else has any more questions to ask? I think I'm done with the last question here. If I'm missing anything, please remind me. Okay, Yamini has for the problem questions, we come across what is the minimum coverage, what is the maximum coverage. If minimum coverage means should select the least value, and the maximum coverage means should select the higher value according to the technique. Is my understanding correct? Okay, so if I'm talking about equivalence partition boundary value analysis, the typical example, if you'll see my tutorials as well, I have a scenario there which they have given some of the ranges to me, and they're asking me that which of these given option covers the highest number of partitions. Okay, which of these given options covers the highest number of partitions? So option A has some values, You need to put it in the ranges and see that which covers the maximum ranges. So probably you have 5 ranges in the question. You have 5 mathematical ranges, and option A covers only 3 of them. Option B covers all 5 of them. Then your answer should be B, because they are asking you which of the following given options consist of values which covers the highest number of ranges. Okay, that's one thing. The second way of asking the question is, what is the minimum number of test cases required for maximum coverage? Now, in that case, you have to take one test from each partition. So if you have 5 partitions, your answer will be 5, because you take one test from each partition. So that's the logic. So the same way, when you come to boundary value analysis, which of these boundary values will have highest coverage of the boundary values in the given scenario? So in the given scenario, you might have 6 boundary values or 8 boundary values. You have to understand that. And that you can understand from the tutorial, because you need to have the example in front of you. The second thing is, minimum means not the least value. It's just that the minimum number of test cases which you need to have all the range coverage. Okay, but if we are referring this to the white box testing technique, that is statement or decision, please excuse that. Please ignore that, because we do not have any such things, any more questions like that being asked from the white box level. Okay, I hope I've clarified your doubt there, Yamini. If you have anything else, just let me know. Sharon, not all defects result in failure. Sometimes the condition under which a piece of code to be executed never is, thus a failure does not occur. I didn't get this line. Could you please elaborate? Okay, no, she's asking she's asking me this question, that she didn't get this line. Not all the defects result in a failure. Sometimes the condition under which a piece of code to be executed never is. That means there was a particular condition determined. If A is greater than 5, and we never tested it for greater than 5. We always tested for less than 5. Sometimes you have a loop where condition has to be satisfied. For example, something which is in between 5 to 10, right? And you always tried between 5 to 10. So you never followed the outside path. That is what I mean to say. That it's not always that all defects result in failure. That's one part of it. Not all the defects result into failure. Some defects are just cosmetics or related to look and feel, or the features like error message or the functionality, which might not result into failure, but yeah, it is an issue. Could be like, the naming conventions, the standard of username. Probably username is displayed in caps lock, or the block letters, which is supposed to be in small letters. So these are also defects, but does not lead to failure. It is very well accepting the username and logging you in. Correct? So not all the defects result into failure, but sometimes there are certain conditions which are not tested. Thus, a failure does not occur. So what we are trying to say here, that when you have certain conditions, try to test all the possibilities. And that's where you will further explore in advanced level that what is fault injection and what is fault seeding. We purposefully inject certain faults to see that have you covered all the paths in the program flow or control flow? Because not generally people go to that awkward way of executing a code. They think that generally people will use the positive numbers, right? For example, I have a condition extremely like negative number should not be accepted, right? I know that nobody will put negative number. Not maybe 30% or 70% of people don't even know that I can put a negative number somewhere. Where do you use? You generally don't use negative numbers in technology if you have a text field, right? But we have to test it. That what if one out of that 100% tries to put a negative number? What happens? Does the exception is triggered? Does the system fails, crashes? What happens? Until unless I test it, I cannot dedicate anything to that. So this is where we say that thus a failure does not occur, because we have not tested it. So not all the defects cause a failure, and there are certain possibilities where you don't even test everything which may happen or which may have a defect. So make sure that you test everything at any point of time. Okay. Okay, so that was one. And Yamini says, thank you so much. You're almost welcome at any point of time. Just let me know if you have any questions to respond. Feel free. Every Saturday we connect. I'm not sure what Saturday and what day is the next Saturday. If it is a new year, no, that's going to be after the new year day. So we will have another session on Saturday as well. Only if it is critically, celebration day, I call off the weekend, this live session. But if it is manageable, definitely I appear again. Okay, yes, team. So if you have any more questions, just let me know. I'm here to respond to your queries, and we have still half an hour to go with your sample questions. If you are done, you can let me know. If you have any questions, just feel free to drop them, and I'm here to respond it. I know it's a celebration weekend, and a lot of people are on long weekends and traveling. In fact, I was supposed to travel, but I had certain commitments, so I could not travel. I had some plans, but yeah, this happens. So if you are here and you have certain questions with your mind, please share it, and I'm here to respond to that. Don't forget to give a thumbs up if that's helping you in your preparation. Okay, Yamini says, I applied for a remote proctor exam on Thursday, received the confirmation mail saying we'll get the confirmed exam date within 48 hours, but did not get the confirmed mail yet. Can you please guide me? Yamini, all you can do is wait or probably write them back that I'm still expecting a date from you, or I'm expecting a mail from you, because I'm not sure if you're talking about ITB. Generally, they take some time to respond because of the holidays. They do not consider it as a business day. So probably, the 25th, 26th, 27th have gone to the long weekend. So they might definitely return back to you on Monday or Tuesday. At any point of time, you are always free to write them once the condition is fulfilled. So you can always write them and ask them about the same. Okay, so never mind. Just because of the extended holidays this time, things are getting slightly delayed, but they are punctual sometime to respond on time. Sometimes they respond on time. Otherwise, generally they are little late due to the load of all the audience across the country. So just wait for a while. They will revert back to you. And at any point of time, you're always free to ask them a question by reverting to that mail. Okay, you can always go to the contact us page and you can find the mail IDs and you can write to Sonal and Pravesh, or these are the people who are generally taking care of the examination in India. Yes, team. Anyone else has any more questions to ask? Looking forward to that, and definitely would like to respond to all your queries at least for this week, and then you can collect all your queries for the next weekend, and we can definitely connect again and answer your questions. But if you have anything right now in your mind, be it about testing, be it about ISTQB certification, maybe about taking up the next certification, or talking about what should you do in your upcoming career, probably the New Year resolutions about testing world, then you are free to definitely drop me a text there, and I'm here to talk about that or respond to you and give you that proper suggestion, recommendation in order to help you build your career the better way. Okay, so I'm all here to assist you, all here to respond to your queries and assist you as much as possible from my experience. So just feel free. All you have to do is drop me a question and I'm here to respond to that. Could you tell me about traceability between test basis and work product? There is a section in first chapter. I think you will find the answer there itself. It clearly says that it's a traceability is basically the linkage between the test basis which you referred to derive the test cases, and of course the test case which is a work product. What is a work product? Anything which you create as a part of the entire testing process. We call it as test work product. Similarly, you have development work product, you have design work products, you have specific work product from each of the phases. Now, testing work products are, for example, one of the work product is test cases. Now you derived your test cases from use cases. Okay, or you derive your test cases from algorithms. Now, algorithm is your test basis, okay, and test cases are your work product. So why I'm talking about the linking between them? Traceability, requirement traceability matrix. Now, why I'm linking these 5 test cases to the use case ID 1? Because tomorrow I should know that these test cases are executed, then which requirement is complete. Or if in case I have a question on that test case, if I have a doubt on that particular test case, then I should know that which parent document I referred to derive this test case to get clarity, right? So at any point of time, we recommend having a good traceability. What if tomorrow the use case gets updated by the customer or the requirement gets changed by the customer? Then how will you come to know that what test cases are related to this requirement and how they are impacted? Because maybe your previous test cases, what you have written is sufficient when you wrote it for the first time, but after the change was done on the requirement, maybe you need to write some more test cases, and that you can only come to know by having a good traceability. So traceability is just like linking between the basis which you referred and what is that you created after referring that. It could be your test condition, test cases, or your test data, anything, whatever you're creating, and you definitely refer certain test bases for that. Okay, we can hear that. There's a celebration going on next house. Anyone else has any questions, team? If you have some, feel free to drop it. We still have a lot of time to respond to your queries. Yes, exactly. The test cases and use cases are different. Test cases are basically to execute and measure the functionality or validation or behavior of an application, whereas use case is a real-time interface between user and the system. You can go to chapter number 4, use case testing section to understand more about use cases. And you'll see the difference between test case and use case. So yeah, definitely they are different. Use cases are generally created derived directly from the requirements, or it can be form of your requirement itself. All right, any of my friends looking for more questions to answer, please drop it, and I'm here to definitely assist you. You're welcome, Sharon. If you have any more questions, just collect it again. We will have it the next week, and you can definitely ask me any questions about that. All right, team. So probably, I hope I have answered most of the questions. So we will just have some more time. If things are okay with all of you, then we would call off the show, because I'm not sure if anyone people are with their weekend mood, and that's the reason we don't have much people on the call today. But as far as your queries are involved, I'm supposed to answer that. So if you think that I have answered all your questions, that's fine. And if you don't see any more questions coming up for the next 5 minutes, we will just wind up with the day today. And definitely we will connect again the next weekend. So don't worry about that. But if in case we keep on having the questions coming up, I'll stay back and definitely answer all your questions till the time gets up. But if in case we see that there are no questions coming up, you can definitely enjoy the weekend as well. So yes, team, if you have any more questions at any point of time, just drop it. I'm here waiting for your questions to respond to that. All right, team. So I think it's time I should log off for the day because I'm having a background music coming in, and that will be definitely a copyright claim on this video by YouTube because there are a lot of questions, a lot of music, and there is very clear lyrics which I can hear, and for that YouTube does not, comply me to make use of such thing as a background music, and I will definitely have a copyright claim on this video, and I don't want to do that. So thank you so much for being online, team, because there are some celebrations and I cannot hamper it. I cannot ask them to stop. All I can do is I can pause my discussion here. Okay, let me just quickly take a last question from Sharon. Could you tell me about entry criteria and exit criteria? I think you are yet to go with your chapter 5. Please take your time. Chapter 5 has the detailed explanation of entry and exit criteria because I can definitely give you the answer, but there's no point. You will not be able to relate things. So take your time. The flow is determined in such a way that you learn everything one after the other in the right order. So don't worry. The book, if you are referring to, or the tutorials you are referring to, everything is well aligned to let you understand at any point of time. So don't worry. Relax. Just follow the flow and go with that. So you will have it in chapter 5 discussed about entry and exit criteria. AG Moore, yes, you can have a blank paper during the exam. You just have to show to the proctor that it is empty. And once you do certain calculation, you show them what is the calculation you have done, because anytime you can swap the papers, right? So they don't want to do that. So you have to show them whenever. You just follow the instruction from the proctor. And the proctor will tell you every time you do the calculation, you have to show me, or they say that show me once at the end, you can do that as well. Anyhow, okay? So yes, you are allowed, but you have to showcase. All right, thank you so much, everyone. And yes, yes, it's going to be the Happy New Year happening the next week before we meet up again. Though definitely, I would like to wish all our viewers a very, very, very happy New Year. Hope everything comes under control and things are going to be more better. We had a very bad year this time, but things have been really energetic, and people always wanted to be, as collaborative as possible, trying to support the nation in order to build a good reputation back and bring down all the pandemic to the zero. And we have definitely supported a lot, like working together to reduce that pandemic effect. And we have really fought well. And I would like to wish you that we definitely look forward to a very healthy and very happy new year this time. And of course, I wish you all the very success and good resolutions in your life ahead. And we'll definitely meet you in the new year, or I can say the next year again. So thank you so much, team, for being online and joining into the live sessions. It cannot be successful without you. And me alone cannot just do everything on this live session. So thank you so much for joining in and asking your questions and making it a successful one by contributing with your questions. It was really a great pleasure responding to all your questions and answering them. So that's all from this particular live session, team. We will continue again next weekend, Saturday, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Till then, if you have any more questions, feel free to comment below. I'm always there to respond to query and answer them well. Till then, keep learning, keep exploring, keep understanding the context. Thanks for being a part of this live session, team, and happy learning. And happy New Year 2021 in advance. See you then. Take care. Bye-bye.